if you're in the market for one of these mid-sized portable power stations, 2 kilowatt hours there or thereabouts, then this is, I think, the sweet spot for this industry. They can do 99% of what most people want to accomplish with one of these devices. But should you just blow the budget, go straight for the EcoFlow? It's got most of the features, and on the spec sheet, it wins by a country mile. So if money's no object, just get an EcoFlow. Job done, video over. If you're tight on money, then you might want to look at a Fossibot. In terms of pricing, the Fossibot is half the price of the EcoFlow. At the moment, current rates, if you look on Amazon, somewhere like that, you'll find this Fossibot F2400 for about half what you can buy the EcoFlow Delta 3 Max Plus 4. But you do get a lot more for your money over here. Or should you go for the sweet spot, where this sits halfway between these two in terms of price, but also in terms of functionality? It offers quite a bit more than the Fossibot does, but it's not quite keeping up with the EcoFlow. Now, let me demonstrate some of the pros and cons for you. If we quickly start with this Aferiy, because for some people, this may be the Goldilocks, I'm not sure. Depends on your needs. 6 USB ports on the front. It's got a 2800 watt inverter. The P280 is a great form factor with good solid handles. And if you want to see my dedicated review to this, it's already on the channel. I won't recover all of that stuff. So where does this win compared to the Fossibot? Well, the inverter is on paper an extra 400 watts, but in testing, it's even stronger than that. Now, I've covered other features before on these dedicated videos about the screens. The Aferiy offers a bright, clear display. It's not confusing. It's easy to get to grips with. The Aferiy, compared to the Fossibot F2400, also has an app. It's a reasonable basic app. It doesn't have all the advanced functionality of the EcoFlow unit, but it can do most of the basic functions that a lot of people would probably expect. In terms of connectivity, these two are quite similar. We've got 3 AC outlets, so your normal, regular plug socket. A big plus for me is that this one can take 2 solar inputs, and this one can take 1200 watts of solar input, whereas the Fossibot can only take 500 watts. For me, that immediately would rule out the Fossibot. I wouldn't consider it. Even if your budget stretched, I would pay the extra and jump up to the Aferiy just on that one feature alone. Solar charging, it can't be overstated how important that is. Okay, so now that I've ruled out this one, let me tell you one good thing about this Fossibot that the other two don't have before we go anywhere. It has this cool little storage box in the top for your charging cables. Oh, it's so good. And you can just about squeeze in a mains AC one, a 12 volt like cigarette lighter charging one, so you can charge it at 100 watts from a vehicle, and you can fit in an MC4 adapter cable, so you can have a solar charge cable, mains charge cable, and a car charge cable, and it can all squeeze into this little box on the top, and you shut the case, and then you never worry about losing your cables or whether you've got them or what else. So that is a plus for the Fossibot. It does win on that. Oh, I took it away, it's back. One of the other things I really dislike on the Fossibot, and I've mentioned it in previous video, all these rubber plugs that you have to pull out, but also it doesn't automatically time out and turn off the inverter. And so if you don't manually turn it off yourself, then it will just drain the battery on idle, and it will drain it down to 0. So something to keep on top of. These more modern units, both of these, they do turn off. So what do you think between these two? They are, in many ways, quite similar rivals, but actually there's a lot that sets these two apart. Now, in theory, you can add expansion batteries to both of these. They both offer a form of alternator charger, although the EcoFlow is a lot more advanced in both of those areas, both because you can use several different types of EcoFlow expansion battery with this, whereas the Aferiy, you have to use this specific expansion battery just for the P280. You couldn't use an expansion battery from the P310, for example, with this power station. This also has 2 solar charge inputs, just like the Aferiy does. The app functionality on the EcoFlow means that it could really be a huge benefit in a home situation, where you could program this every night to charge on cheap rate, and it would just automate it and just take care of it. So really, a huge win for EcoFlow is the way that they've continually evolved and developed their app. Now, on top of that, it does have many other things. We've got cool stuff like we've got an Anderson connector, which can handle quite decent current. And so that gives you a 12-volt DC output on here. This also has a quick adjust button for changing the speed of charge. Some small features. Weight-wise, they're comparable. Form factor, of course, a little bit different. This one is a little bit longer, a little bit slimmer, and a little bit shorter. Both of them have got really good handle placements. If you had to carry these with one hand, the EcoFlow is a little bit easier to carry one-handed, but I wouldn't advise that for most people. These are over 20 kilos each. This device definitely wins substantially when it comes to AC outlets. So if you're going to use more than 2 AC outlets, then the EcoFlow is a clear winner on that front. It has a stronger inverter built into it, but the placement of the plug sockets, the rotation on them, so that you can get 4 proper full-size plugs into those sockets, that does make quite a difference. So yes, if you needed to on the Aferiy, you could use an extension lead or something else. But out of the box, it's difficult to get 3 full-size plugs into the sockets on the Aferiy. Bit too much of a squeeze. In fact, on the Fossibot, you can't do it at all. The Fossibot is even worse. You can only get 2 plugs into those sockets. There's no chance of getting 3 in there. So what do you think? Do you think that these are a great investment? What are you using one for? I know in some of the previous videos, there's been actually quite a diverse mix of people that are using them for campers and people who are literally taking them tents. There's people as well that are just on the road all the time that leave one of these in the boot for powering their mobile office and laptop and stuff when they're out on the road and parked up and stuff like that. More and more people using these to supplement their home in some way. So these can be used by plug-in. You can plug some of your appliances in. These will run pretty much everything in your home. You can charge them on a cheap rate and do a bit of that load shifting into a cheap rate of energy. And of course, there's the solar functionality. So what have I missed? And what more would you like to see on the channel? I'm really trying to hone in now on what is the most helpful content for you out there in the audience. From what I'm experiencing and from my testing and my real world usage, family with young kids, camp trips, I'd used a few of these for work purposes and stuff as well. I'm a firm believer that these are the sweet spot of the perfect size. And so I'd be interested to know if there are any features that you feel these are lacking, or if you feel in some ways there's sometimes too many bells and whistles can be just too much. Maybe it'd be better to see a slightly more cost-effective and a slightly simpler solution. Anyway, too much chatting over camera. Make sure you subscribe and like this video and send me a nice message in the comments. Thank you very much.